What's up, everyone? I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMoviescreens.com, and I got another movie to review for you guys, and that would be Chuck. Now, if you guys don't know what this movie's about, essentially it's about the real-life story of boxer Chuck Wepner, and this guy is actually the inspiration for the film Rocky, and so I had no idea Rocky was actually based on a real-life boxer. I thought it was just something that Sylvester Stallone made up in his sleep while he was mumbling with a sock in his mouth, but I guess we all learned something, right? But anyways, this kind of just shows his life before the movie and then after the movie and kind of how it affects him and whatnot. So how was it overall? I really liked it. So let's get real and break this down. So usually with boxing films, which have been very popular over the last few years, right, with like Creed and Southpaw, it's kind of had this like resurgence, and sometimes it could be very average. Like I thought Bleed for This with Miles Teller, I thought it was a fine one, but it didn't really have like that emotional, pun intended, punch that you would want in a boxing film, because usually these films are about the rise and fall of these characters while they go through their careers and whatnot. For the movie Chuck, played wonderfully by Liev Schreiber, we have it to where it's not the rise and fall of his career. It's more of like the rise and fall of himself. It's within himself, the character. And I really kind of appreciated that nice like kind of spin on this, because this was a guy who could take a hit and he was really tough in the ring, right? He fought like greats like Muhammad Ali, and he was respected. He was one of the greats, but he also let fame get to his head. He let his ego get enlarged. He would flirt with women even though he had a wife and a kid. And that's just who he was. And, you know, it kind of like took over, him to where he just didn't really want to make anything work in his life. And he really just wanted to, go hard all the time and really just kind of let fame go to his head. And so when the movie Rocky comes out, he starts doing drugs, he starts getting really addicted to alcohol, and like he sleeps around with a bunch of women. He's really kind of falling down into this pit of, despair and kind of sorrow, and you kind of feel sorry for him. And I think that all has to do with Liev Schreiber's performance, because usually with a character like this, who's very kind of asshole-ish, and he's really kind of a dick to everyone, you want an actor that can portray that very well, but also be very charming and likable at the same time, to where when he actually gets really kind of like at the bottom of the barrel, like really just kind of sinking to the lowest point in his life, you want to feel sorry for him. And I think Liev Schreiber really does that well. I was rooting for him at the very end. I was like, I want this guy to get better, and really kind of be respected, and get the good graces of like the people that love him and whatnot. So I think for overall, in the boxing genre, I think this is really well done to kind of flip the script and really kind of focus on the character instead of the actual boxing. Even though that's a nice little touch with the boxing sequences, they're handled very well with nice long takes, and really kind of you could feel the punches, you can feel the bones snapping into each other. It's wonderfully done in the boxing arena, but it's more about the character himself, Chuck Wepner. Also, with the directing, I really found the visual aesthetic to be very well handled, because this movie is set in the 70s, right? So the movie is letterbox, so it is cut off, it's not widescreen, and the cinematography and just the overall energy, it felt like a mob film, and it felt like a boxing film all at once. And the best director I can compare it to is like a Martin Scorsese film. It kind of had that snap and that pizzazz to the filmmaking to make it really feel like we were watching a film from the 70s. So I really love the overall look to this film, to really kind of sink you into this world of the 70s and the life of this boxer. All the other performances are really well handled. He's got great chemistry with Elizabeth Moss, who plays his wife in the film. Elizabeth Moss is a really great actress. If you have not seen The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, she's really great in that. And of course, I've heard great things of Mad Men. And then his, I guess, ex-wife now, Naomi Watts, is in the film, and they kind of have a really great chemistry as well, rightfully so. They were one's married in real life and they have kids, so they've spent a lot of time with each other to where they know how to interact with one another. Ron Perlman is in this, and he's a really great kind of back and forth with Liev Schreiber as like his trainer and like his the guy that seals up his cuts and whatnot. So I thought the overall performances were really well handled, and a lot of them are really grounded and kind of emotional, like Elizabeth Moss's character. Even a couple scenes with Naomi Watts, or a couple scenes with Chuck's brother and whatnot. So, but the core of this film is definitely Liev Schreiber. He's the one that makes the film, and he's the one that you actually want to care about. Even though throughout some parts of the film you're like, stop doing that. I just want you to get better. Like I said, the visual aesthetic of the film is really well handled. The cinematography is it's not documentary-like, but it's more of like this handheld observing cinematography where we're just kind of following these characters and their actions. Like I said, the boxing scenes are really well handled, and a lot of really great one-takes to really kind of show you this is not some fast-cut type of movie, but really kind of show you how impactful the punches are. And that's about it. Like I pretty much like hit on everything. It's not like one of my favorite boxing movies of all time, but I really enjoyed it for what it was, and I'd be okay with if Liev Schreiber got nominated or something, or just this one got nominated in general. Boxing films are definitely one of the best in the kind of sports realm, the sports genre of, just the great underdog story of seeing someone getting their ass knocked down on the ground and getting back up to finish the fight. And Chuck did so, and really kind of ended on a nice little note to where you kind of reflect back and go, yeah, this guy had problems, but I was still rooting for him because he seemed like he was, he was doing good, but he just kind of, slipped and fell a little bit. You just need someone to kind of hoist him back up. So I'm going to give Chuck a B+. What did you guys think of Chuck, or have you even heard of it? I didn't know Rocky was based on a real life boxer. So, there you go. You learn something every single day. So what did you guys think of this movie? Comment in that place where I'll hold my face and let me know. And I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMoviescreens.com. And tune in next time for whatever I review next. I'll see you guys later.